Did you realize during the COVID-19 pandemic, both adults and children have spent as if amount of time on computers or other electronic devices? Imagine that after staring at digital screen for prolonged hours, how many of you have actually experienced tired eyes, headache, or muscle pain? So what you experience are actually the most common symptoms of computer vision syndromes, or also known as CVS. Let me share with you a fact. CVS is estimated to affect nearly 60 million people worldwide, with new cases emerging every year. Wow! Other than office workers, students are also highly prevalent groups of CVS. Even a more worrying trend is the prevalence of CVS among Malaysian students is high as compared to other countries. And unfortunately, there was no prior or current data on CVS among IIUM Kuantan students. Thus, this raised some questions. What is the prevalence? What is the risk factors? So, this is where my investigations come in handy. I'm SITI LIYANA, and my research project was a cross-sectional study that took place between March until April 2022. A convenient sampling was performed to recruit participants from various kuliah in IIUM Kuantan. Upon their consent, a validated questionnaire was distributed by online platforms or by hand. The questionnaire consists of 4 parts. The first part, we collect socio-demographic info of the participants, and we also look at their computational behavior. We also ask questions related to the ergonomics practices during computer use. And the last part of the questionnaire, we assess whether they have CVS symptoms by using validated questionnaire. So, let's have a look at the results. Majority of participants were females. There are 22 years old, and they are from the Kuliah of Medicines. And majority of them are currently in their 3rd year of their study. In terms of computational behavior, majority of participants use computers every day, and they use the computer for more than 4 hours per day. Most of them take regular breaks, and frequency of taking regular breaks usually was more than 1 hour. Assignment was the most common activity for their computer use, and sitting at a desk was the most preferred position for computer work. It was found that the prevalence of CVS among participants was moderate with 69.3%, and the majority of them were categorized as mild CVS. When we look at the past finding, the present findings was found to be lower than the findings of other student population studies, which could be because of different methods of CVS screening used between studies. In terms of CVS symptoms, headache, tired eyes, and neck and shoulder pain were the most common reported symptoms by participants. Now, what are the possible risk factors of CVS symptoms experienced by the participants? First, female students had a significantly higher risk of CVS than the male students. Based on the literature, the difference could be because the females can perform tasks for longer period of times and have shorter stature. Second, Kuliah of Medicines reported a higher prevalence of CVS symptoms than other kuliah. The present study is contradicting previous studies by Logares et al. 2014 and the reason behind this contradictory is unknown. But it was speculated that females outnumbers males in the study population, and the majority of them are from the Kuliah of Medicines. Third, a significantly inversely correlation was observed between CBS scores and ergonomic practices, suggesting that ergonomic practices such as checking a posture, adjusting level of viewing, and setting proper screen distance play an important role in reducing the risk of developing CBS. Despite of good ergonomic practices reported by the participants, a weak correlation between these factors raised a question of whether the participant do have a correct practice of computer ergonomics. Hence, the present findings suggest that training on good computer ergonomic practices are necessary. In addition to that, medical intervention for students suffering from CBS symptoms. Last but not least, it is also recommended that the study be disseminated to a large population, such as all sectors of education throughout Malaysia.